I just want you to live long and prosper. It was an epic line for this movie. I'm Jackie.
I got a dick that looks like shredded lettuce on a taco supreme from Taco Bell, so I must destroy the government? I'm Justin.
No, David, don't get up. In fact, you can just read from the script while we push you down a hall. I'm Sam, and this is 1997's The Rage on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host Justin. With me are always Zorak and Moltar.
Which one am I?
You're definitely Zorak.
That's the asshole.
He's the bug.
Praying mantis, right?
Yeah. Sam is the guy that pulls the levers. Release the taco.
Which would make the infrequent appearance of Tucker Brack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or I was actually thinking the dogs would probably be Brack because they just sporadically bark and like they kind of sound like Brack when they howl. Ah! Hey, it's me, the dog. Okay. If anybody doesn't know what we were talking about, travel back in time to the 90s and look up Space Ghost. This week on the show, The Rage, starring Lorenzo Lamas, Roy Scheider, Gary Busey, David Carradine for a second, and I don't know, some ladies that I'm sure Sam will talk about that we'll probably never hear from again. Directed by Simon DeBont.
Sidney J. Furie.
Sidney J. Furie. Be better if it was Simon LeBon. And currently streaming on Tubi TV. Sam, is this the sequel to Carrie?
No.
Okay, because we've already done a movie called The Rage on this podcast, and that was the sequel to Carrie. So now we've got two The Rages. We got two Roadhouses and two The Rages.
Two The Rage. It just fucks with your indexing. You have to do a bunch of extra work. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry.
Google's going to kick us down to the bottom of all the internet. Like last in internet.
No, it's not. It doesn't. What was the Lamas movie that we did that I picked a while ago? What the fuck was that?
The one with
Ken
Cynthia
Mont.
Rothrock?
No, it had Kathleen Kenmont, his wife.
Yeah.
We then would apparently, in the middle of the Renegade series, divorce her, I guess. And then immediately get a girlfriend and then have her cast in the show.
Okay.
And that ruffled some feathers, so he just fired her. Or got her fired because he never really had the keys to that kingdom. But that movie was part of the studio that did all of the Renegades. And this is not apparently, this was a Bob Weinstein picture. This was Dimension that put this out, which explains why there was so many explosions. But I would think that they co-opted the Renegade people because of how many car chases there are in this. There's a significant amount of ridiculous car chases in this movie.
Yeah, two or three.
Yeah. Anyway, Sidney J. Furie did The Ipcris File, which is a pretty good movie. The Entity, which is debatably decent. And then just did shit. Like, he did some real shit. He did Dependables, which was like a Expendables knockoff with old people.
Right.
And
That's
we've done two of his movies because we did Superman 4 that he directed and Iron Eagle.
We have not done Iron Eagle.
We didn't do Iron Eagle?
No, we have
not. We just watched it.
Yeah.
Movie sucks.
Yeah. You should put that on the list and all the sequels, which you need to still circle back to the Highlander sequels at some point, Sam. So everybody's.
Oh yeah, I got to do that before they. Well, we did too. That was my big one. So you guys can pick the other ones.
You're just gonna walk away from Highlander after the second one?
It's not me. Jackie picked the first one. I picked the second one. Naturally, if you want to continue, you can.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
No, I was sticking with the Lamas business because I was like, we're going to do more of these Lamas movies.
Okay.
Because he's a forgotten turd of the 90s, basically.
know if he's that forgotten.
No, because he does those. He stays relevant by doing those fucking variety shows and shit like that.
Yeah, he's
right?
around.
Like,
He's around.
Let's talk about these talented people with other talented people like Lorenzo Lamas and his like bio. And I can't remember if it was on IMDb or like his personal website. Like his list of professions is a mile long. He's like a actor, director, writer, producer, pilot.
Plus actor.
I feel like if you can fly a plane and you went to pilot school and you're like you're a licensed pilot who flies their own private planes and things like that, that doesn't actually, it's not your profession. If you have to get up and go to work and fly people somewhere as part of a job, then you can list that as a profession. But I feel he's just blowing smoke up his own ass somewhere or another. Anyway, the real question is, who the fuck is Kristen Cloak? The person who plays the
Cloak?
Love interest / partner in this movie that is definitely not a true story, but then gives us the entire, at the end of it, that they get married and have kids and move to Minnesota, and one of them teaches shop in high school and the other one, and you're like, what the fuck?
I was invested in these characters so much. I needed
I was. How could you get invested in her as a character at all?
Right.
She doesn't make any sense through the whole thing. So I'm like, who is this person and how did she get here?
Okay.
So she married Glenn Morgan, who's one of the writers of the X-Files. And he also was the creator of Space Above and Beyond. Do you remember that show?
I do.
And then Millennium, he was the creator of that show and the movie Final Destination, I believe.
Okay, all right.
She's in all of that.
Okay.
And this.
All right.
So this was like, I'm going to go test the unwarm waters of not my husband's written material. She did not excel.
Damn it. God, I was pulling for her.
Well, I don't know. Am I the only person on this podcast that thought that she stunk more than anybody has stunk on this show in like a couple years? Like, she stunk. She was terrible.
That's. I mean, dude, you're talking a couple years. There's some pretty big competition there, Sam. I don't know if she stunk that bad.
But
Jackie, was she that bad?
She was hard to watch.
Okay, all right.
I'm not gonna lie, it was the over-injection of collagen or whatever in her lips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is she getting those things closed, was my first thought when she came on screen and started talking. And then the only other thing that I could think about was, you have dick sucker disease lips.
Disease.
That's a
disease, is it?
Yeah, it's running through.
Yeah, dick sucker disease.
Point me to the infirmary that treats that.
I got a fever, doc, and the only cure is Sam's penis.
Just intercept a few on the way in before they get treatment for it.
Yeah. And, I just, when she would try to be dramatic, it was so, like, or when she tried to take charge, anytime she tried to be assertive, you could tell that that's not part of who she is. And it was awkward and weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was, what I found hard was that she was like, it was like she was in an acting class doing all of her characters, but then she got like 8% of the way there on every one of them. Like when she was being tough, it was like, wow, you're not tough. When she was being like sexy, I was like, oh, no, thank you. And it was just like, wow, you're terrible. And when she ran, she couldn't run at all. The running was terrible. And there was a scene where she had like, and this isn't her fault so much as maybe the guy that gave her the helmet, but when she's got all of her like raid gear on and she's charging up the little snow, and it's not even a snowy hill or it's like a pile of snow in front of a shed. And she's like, and her helmet's just on her face and she's not moving right. And you're like, okay. Yep, you're the FBI's top lady. It's you.
She probably didn't have a good time making this movie. She did not look like she was enjoying herself.
Yeah. I was surprised at the stunts. The end stunt was like crazy when they catapulted that guy through the explosion on fire. That was nuts.
Yeah, they did the same stunt in Roadhouse and it looked 20 times worse.
Yeah. Anyway, so Roy Scheider had just finished Sequest.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let me dabble through the Schneider and see what is going on with his career and why he's in this. He's just not very choosy.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause he did Rainmaker this year, but then he was done with Sequest. So in 97, he did 7 movies. Most of them were turds. Rainmaker was one of them.
Okay.
But his whole career was like that. It was like, oh, we'd do something good, but then he'd do a bunch of shitty stuff.
Okay.
So he's just not very picky. I guess that's the thing on Schneider.
Yeah, got to take the jobs.
The most interesting thing about this movie is the person who plays Busey's girlfriend in the movie was his wife in real life.
Wow. Okay.
23 years his junior. He marries her right before this slew of movies. Plato's Run is another one, which Roy Scheider is also in. So maybe they're buds, I guess. I don't know.
God, I hope not.
Same agent, possibly. I don't know. But he marries her. She does 4 movies with him, like wham, bam, bam, 96, 97, 97, 97. And then is like, you know what? Fuck you, Gary Busey. I'm out. And isn't in movies anymore either. But she died of a cocaine overdose in 2019, which confirms that she was married to Gary Busey for real.
Yeah. Okay. That's sad story. That woman probably didn't have a great life.
Here's what's weird about it. I had to go to TMZ and read this story. They found her passed out in a ditch.
Okay.
And they like woke her up and offered to take her to the hospital and she refused. So they took her to jail. I don't know at what point you go, can I go back to option A?
Cool. How is that even an option? If the person is...
You refuse...
No, you're having an overdose on drugs. You are incapacitated. You are not capable of making your own medical decisions. Therefore, the law gets to decide that you need to go to the hospital. We're not qualified to treat you.
By the end of this little snippet, you're going to wonder if the coroner needed to do a better job.
Yeah.
So they take her to jail and she passes out and gets up and sees the judge and has lunch and then goes back to her jail cell and then dies the next day.
Of cocaine.
When they did the autopsy, her toxicology was through the roof. She still had like everything in her system enough to kill 2 horses.
Sure she didn't like barf and choke on her tongue?
This isn't really how you die of a cocaine overdose, but the toxicology report was like, well, it could have been the cocaine or the alcohol or anything. So the amount of cocaine in her system, I guess, was where they're like cocaine overdose. But they found her in a ditch, passed out, took her to jail. She saw the judge, ate lunch, went and took a nap, died.
I think I have some questions.
I have questions too.
It sounds like something that 48 Hours should get their hands on.
They don't have that anymore. They only have not news.
Entertainment
yelling. Yelling headlines that somebody else wrote.
You don't watch
fucking them
enough.
up.
Hey, I'm a 40-year-old man, 40-plus-year-old man. I watch a lot of CBS, Sam, and they have a lot of 40. That's like CBS is
good.
NCIS.
CBS is still...
They got 2 shows, NCIS and murder shows. 48 Hours. This time, he shouldn't have turned in his stamp collection because his wife is mad and she's gonna kill him. Type thing, you know, like who killed Jerry for his stamps? The mystery. All the time.
Okay.
All the time. Yeah. I love them. They're great. They're interesting. I'm in my mid-40s. I can't stop watching the damn 48 Hours. That's where we're at, guys. I don't have time for bed. We're starting a new podcast. It's called Stinker or 48-hour madness. There we go. Because that's what I want to talk about.
Oh.
Jackie too. But she watches the Netflix ones. She doesn't bother with local television. She just watches murders on Netflix.
I do if I get a chance to watch them on the regular big TV in the living room, but I also don't like commercials, so I'm like,
yeah.
I'll just watch the old ones.
Okay. All right. Dateline.
And I'm going to mention Carradine being in this movie because I don't believe he's credited. I think he just shows up.
Yeah, I didn't see his name up front.
Straight up, put him in a wheelchair, rolled him down a hall with the script in his hand so that he could kind of read his lines. He looked pretty fucked up.
He looked a little drunk.
So, like,
or whatever.
This movie's like the Renegade Stuntman, maybe, and I don't even know if it's that, but it's like they made this movie, but like it seems like whatever bender Gary Busey was on just got co-opted into the movie.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll see your Gary Busey. I'm David Carradine. You're entering my world, Gary Busey.
No, that like we're doing a movie with Gary Busey, and they're like, but he's gonna have a fucking party the whole time. We're not gonna be able to get Carradine. Carradine's gonna be here. We'll just put him in the movie.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so fucked up. That's fine.
Oh, I bet you Carradine threw down a lot harder than Gary Busey ever did. The 70s. Oh man, Carradine was.
I'm really just kind of thinking that the only reason he's in this movie is because they were just throwing down hard, and he happened to be around.
Yeah.
Which is weird because this is shot in Utah, and I'm pretty sure it said Heber, Utah, but I'm pretty sure there's some stuff in Logan here because I'm pretty sure that the restaurant they're in was the Copper Mill, which is like the best pork chops I've ever had in my life. Anyway.
Top tip.
We should do the movie now.
We should do the movie, but not before we talk about one thing, Sam. The music of this movie is definitely not from this movie. Anybody notice the fucking score? Oh, no. How did you not notice? The score is like something that would have been in maybe a Corman film that was trying to knock off Star Wars, but was too good to be in a... It's very John Williams-y. Like... Like, it's not 90s action movie at all. It is major, epic style space fantasy bullshit. I'm alone on this? Okay. Wow. I didn't know how you guys didn't notice.
I didn't pay any attention to that.
It's Paul Zaza, who just is a guy who scores movies for Fury.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He pulled something out of...
He might have done it for like Iron Eagle and then maybe it's like Sidney J. Fury like co-opted a bunch of his music or something like that for this. Because
it doesn't fit.
I didn't notice the music not fitting because of how poorly everything else was done around it and even the stunts, which are crazy, are so batshit crazy versus everything else that's happening on screen. It doesn't really fit either. So
no, the stunts do not.
The music wasn't an outlier for me in that respect.
Maybe the script doesn't fit with the stunts because the stunts are the only thing that I like about this movie. Because it sure as fuck is not the script. The script is bad. Like, it's not just a dumb movie, but, like, it is... I think you go to college, and you have the English teacher, and you turn in the script, or something, with anything with dialogue like this, and she's like, what the fuck, dude? F. Because it is a clinic and not on how to not write. It is so melodramatic, and it's annoyingly melodramatic. And vague. It's vague as fuck. What are these people's motivations? Like, it flip-flops all over the place just so that they can have scenes together where they're both very emotional, but also super tough.
It very much reeks of the fact that there was other scenes that got cut out of other stuff that they're like, okay, we're going to do a romance scene here. And they just took that scene that was already written and just plugged those 4 pages in.
Yeah.
That's how it played to me, is that they were just shuffling in some canned scenes into this sort of 20-page script that they did for their action movie. I've seen that done before. I've been witness to that happening when I was working on a show.
So I'm going to say that I think we should just start this movie because the very first scene is just fucking bananas.
It's this. I mean, okay, this is actually the part of the script that I think actually works because this is a Gary Busey movie. It's going to be silly, but the rest of it totally churns away from the writing that's in this. But go ahead and explain what the hell kind of language these people are speaking, Jackie.
Gibberish. They're riding. So it's Gary Busey and his girlfriend, and they're riding down the road in a van, and they see these people camped on the side of the road, and they're like, let's go to Texas Town, or whatever the fuck they said. It was just such gibberish. It was like they were speaking in some kind of drunk-ass code. And then they get out, and she's like, do you want to have sex with me? She's pushing her boobs in this old guy's face. So one, he's going to die of a heart attack like immediately. He's just not looking like he can take that kind of looky-looing.
Okay.
But so she punches him in the face, and then she turns around and karate kicks the other guys. And she's beating the shit out of these men. And Gary Busey just walks over to the lady, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not going to be good. And he just snaps her neck. He's like, nope, you're over the age limit. Beat it, bitch.
But he says something like they're squirrels.
Yeah. It starts out where she's like, I see some squirrels. And you're like, oh, good God, these people are fucked up.
Let's have
sex. But then by the end of the scene, they're like calling campers squirrels. And you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but not really. While she's like boobing out everywhere, he just sits down and he's like, I like my hamburgers medium rare. And then nobody pays attention to him, so he just yells, medium rare!
It's the truth. What is this?
And then he does snap a lady's neck.
He just walks up to her and says, he says some line that's also nonsense, but not quite as distinguished as those, and just fucking breaks her neck. And like the kids, there's some kids that run into the camper like, but they're so... Like, the ADR is so bad that seriously, like how they are, they're like, They run into the camp. Your mom/grandma or party people, we don't know who these fucking people are. We never find out who these people are. They are simply just camping.
Yes, we do.
I don't think
we do.
Okay, we'll get to that. Mark it. Put a pin in it. But for now, they're just campers. And... have been invaded by two lunatics, and one of them's neck is snapped. The other guy got kicked out of his chair. I guess he's dead from it. And that's the scene. They go into the camper. They like, okay, now this is our camper. I've always wanted a Winnebago. Now it's mine. Ha ha ha, butthorn. And now they're gonna tour the United States' national park system.
Let's get us some spoons. I'll have one from Missouri.
Yeah, right. Always wanted to go to Yosemite. God damn it. Fuck. And then cut. That's it. Yeah. That's all we get. And we don't talk about this for a while. Like, there's so much character introduction that has to happen that takes place over this. And I don't like any of it because it all sucks. It's all like, oh, this guy's a tough cop, but he had some bad times with that guy who's a tough cop. Now I'm putting you in charge of this whole operation that we're not going to define currently right now or set up with like some sort of establishing scene or anything. We're just going to have exposition because you're a goddamn tough cop. Okay. But basically what it boils down to. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next scene, though, is when we get introduced to Inspector Gadget Lady, right?
Inspector Gadget Lady.
The
Kelly
FBI
McCord.
lady.
Yeah, Kelly McCord. Why would she be Inspector Gadget Lady, though? Just because you...
I don't know.
Okay, all right. She's Kelly McCord. Agent McCord.
So we get introduced to her, but we don't really see her right away. We just see David Carradine walking into this...
No, Roy
not
Scheider.
David Carradine.
Roy
Scheider. Walking into this office, like, who the fuck put all this shit up here on the walls? Like, who's going to take this shit down? And he kind of looks upset, like it's his office. And then it pans over to her, and he's like, your research is really good. but the staff have made complaints to HR about these dead body pictures you keep putting up.
Sir, this is
these
Quantico.
aren't relevant to the case.
I'm in Major Crimes Division at Quantico and the FBI. This is what we do. We put pictures up on the wall and we take the red yarn and we put pins and connect things together, and it's this big elaborate knot. That's what we do. Janet
said that the one with the penis that's been eaten to death by razor blades needs to come down. She says that that's not even part of this case.
It's a very important clue to the killer's motivation, actually. We have a profile. We've built a profile. This was a whole thing back in the 60s when we started profiling criminals, and now we can detect them easier.
No, Janet says that that's from a different case, and that you're just putting that up there to make fun of Gary in accounting, who went to see a ladyboy and got his wiener shredded.
Sir, I'd like you to leave my office, please. Tell Janet to go fuck herself. This is Quantico, damn it, and I'm a tough cop.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Janet, he says to go fuck yourself.
And then Janet jumps off the top of the federal building. Poor Janet.
Or she just goes back into the copy room.
Yeah. Janet, more copies. Okay. So Roy Scheider's like, okay, well, you're a tough cop and you've done good research, so you're going to be I'm putting you in charge of this task force that's hunting I think, we're not sure, but it may be one guy or like a bunch of guys who are serial rapists running around the woods raping ladies. And you're in charge instead of that Lorenzo Lamas guy, Jack Travis, taking him down.
Nick Travis.
Nick. I thought it was Jack Travis. Oh, Jack
no,
Travis.
Jack Travis is somebody else.
Yeah.
Never trust a guy with two first names.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Also, the other guy's name is Travis too.
Who?
The guy that is like, "Fuck you, Travis." Like everybody's named Travis in this movie. It doesn't make any sense.
Hot name in the 90s.
But he's like, okay, you're on the case and you're going to go run the team for Nick Travis. And she's like, good, because I've got all of these love pictures of him in my locker. Because that's not part of like the crime scene pictures on the wall. She opens her locker and has stalker vibes on Lorenzo Lamas. And then her friend sees her and she's like, ooh, sweet stalker vibes. I went to FBI school with that guy and he's got a hot butt. Give him my phone number.
What you didn't see,
is super desperate and weird.
What you didn't see is it's one of those two tier lockers. Like there's a door at the top and a door at the bottom. She opened up the bottom. At the top was all pictures of David Duchovny. Because it's the 90s and FBI. Okay, screw you guys. These are funny jokes. I'm writing them down as I go because I think I'm going to sell them.
There's a third locker at the bottom, and you open that up, and it's just pictures of the Cookie Monster.
Okay. All right. God damn it. I can't write that one down, but I'm going to change it to Elmo. Okay. Here comes the paychecks. Big time now. Put that in the mail. I don't know who I send these jokes to, but I'm assuming that there's some catalog that I can ship them off to, the Sears joke catalog. I'll use them. Okay, so Nick Travis, he's one tough cop, and he's on a stakeout of I mean what I see, and help me out here because this is a busy film, and I have to write a lot of notes while things are happening on screen, so I might miss some stuff. But what I saw was that he's on a stakeout. He sees a purse snatcher get into a blue van.
I guess.
He's like, that's
what
our
I
guy.
saw was he gets out and he can't get a cigarette in his mouth, so he puts another one in, and I wrote down waste of cigarettes.
Throughout the entire movie.
But in 97, you get a pack of those for like $1, so whatever.
Yeah, they're pretty free. The government's actually issuing them.
But yeah, I don't know exactly how they get onto the blue van, but like once it's go time, it's like fucking go time.
It's major go time. But I think that this is part of this ring of serial rapists, like that's who they're staking out, because that's what Roy Scheider told us. But he sees a purse snatcher and he's like, Get him! He's part of that gang. No, that's just a purse snatcher, dickhead. You've blown your whole operation by chasing after this nobody. Complete nobody. And now you're going to shoot him up. And then they shoot up the whole goddamn town trying to shoot him up.
They crash everything.
Defense, he is colorblind. And so the van looked dark gray, like in the description. But he doesn't tell anybody he's colorblind because he could lose his job. And so he's been winging it this whole time. And that's why the guy in the passenger seat is super pissed, because he's like, dude, that is not a gray van. He's like, yes, it is.
Shoot the tires. Shoot the tires. I can't. All these kids keep getting in the way.
Scene was great because anytime a car slides out, another car would just like slide out, like, oh, topping the other slide out. And then after destroying the entire town with carnage and this long argument between the two Travises on who's better at driving and who's better at shooting, and they both suck. He's like, shoot the tires. Like, he says shoot the tires, I think 167 times.
That's where
but every single time the guy's like, fuck, oh, you drive like shit. I can't shoot anything. And in the defense of the guy that's calling him a shitty driver, he yells, shoot the tires. And then he puts himself on the side of the blue van and like pulls up to the passenger side. Like, how's he going to shoot the tires? Through your face?
Right. Well, I mean, like I say, he can't shoot the tires because all of these innocent civilians just keep getting in the way of his bullets. I mean,
they have their opportunity when they're on the road, right? But then once they get to the Aquarian part.
Aquarian.
Good job. The Aquarian.
The horse thingy. Just say, when you can't pronounce the word, Jackie, just go to the synonym, which equestrian is horse stuff.
They end up going to the Episcopalian Flight Center.
Right. Never go to one.
I couldn't say that either, Sam.
Oh.
Episcopalian. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to call it a horse pavilion because it's not really a horse thingy. They've got a racetrack, like a full-size horse track. They've got a rodeo, and they've got actual steeplechase. Like, this is a horse pavilion. This is horse stuff mecca. If you like horse stuff, you want to go here.
Wherever
do you think that's a real
at.
place?
A horse
or do you think
pavilion?
they just set it up for the movie?
No, because none of those people like each other.
Sam, do not flip me off.
It's radio, Jackie. They can't see that. It's not funny. You don't have horse track racing people getting along with rodeo people, and especially not the steeplechase people. They're all very diverse groups of people. You got the drunks for the horse track and the old men, the retirees, the old men that are lonely and have nothing else to do but bet on horses, and me. But I'm both of those things. And then you got the rodeo rednecks, right? They're all idiots. We won't talk about them because screw them. And then you got the steeplechase people who like put on the red suits and like, oh, tally-ho, we're British today. No, you're from fucking Reseda. You know? Yeah. None of those people get along, Jackie.
This is equestrian jumping, and the cars go through the jump track, which is fun.
There's ramps. Jesus, Sam's head exploded. Oh my God, who shot Marvin in the face is what I'm looking at on Sam's camera. There's fucking blood and guts everywhere. I'm just going to clean that up. There's ramps in front of the jumps that horses jump over.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to drive through this in a car.
No, but they put ramps up for these cars.
Yes, it's great. Like, he's going through section 3. Follow him. Like, once the van gets into the competition for the horse jumping,
right,
you've pretty much got him cornered. You don't have to actually follow him.
I don't know. It looks pretty sweet. Let's do it too. So eventually the van, they're like shooting at it. I don't know if the guy gets shot, but the van's full of lead finally. And it's still trying to get away, and it launches itself through the backside of the steeplechase bleachers, blows them up, this is a dangerous ass fucking stunt because there's actual stunt performers sitting in the stands, diving out of the way of a fucking van that is out of control, flying through it. The van has been launched into air, and they're guessing where it's going to go before they start diving out of its way. This is nuts. This
is a crazy stunt.
It can't be, like, there's got to be something that prevents people from doing this stunt in today. It's called CGI. Yeah, I get it. But, like, I don't think things could have gone really bad here. Like Twilight Zone bad.
There's a number of almost every stunt things could have gone bad. They do a lot of probably 110 millimeter shots where it cheats the depth to where like one of the cars sliding out behind the people, but there's probably 30 feet there and you can't tell because it's nice. The lens makes it seem like they're not that far away. I think this is at an angle to where they're probably still a few feet away from where, but it's a few feet away from where the van is. It's a few
feet away from a van that is already launched. Now, if you had a ramp that went into the back of the bleachers and the van just drove up the ramp and crashed to the bleachers, you know where the van's going to be. But the van has been launched into air. Many things can change its direction at any given point in time, and you might be where it ends up. It's all guess game once it's in air, right? It's nuts.
Yeah, but the departure of the ramp is the key component, and it's pretty hard to like hit the ramp perfect at 40 in a van.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ask Kenny Powers, you know.
Did I make it?
No, you didn't fucking make it, Kenny. You're fucking 200 feet short. Well, we did all the math. Yeah, but it doesn't work.
They didn't do any of the math.
They didn't do any of the math. But I expect none of the math was done here either. This is a fucking dangerous stunt. Glad people didn't die. But anyways, the van crashes, blows up, and they can't ID the body of this guy, so they can't use him as clues because he's all crispy. It looked like he was, like you could kind of see, you know, they go to the autopsy, and he's like, oh, his fingerprints burned off all the way, but like he's not that crispy.
It kind of also looked like they blew off half a leg and a butt cheek.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
just happened. The way that the body was on the table. I've watched a lot of Dr. G Medical Examiner. So I know that bodies do not lay that way on an exam table.
Okay. That's a classic sign of van explosion. Half a leg and a butt cheek got blown off. I've seen this before. You're one tough cop, Jackie.
Thank you.
You got to have some like baggage or something like that you're going to bring up later in this podcast. That like, I can't go on anymore. I'm too tough for this.
Don't worry. I'll let you know when my time comes.
Okay. All right. So Travis and his partner, they blame each other. They're like, it's your fault for shooting up the town. No, it's your fault for driving like shit, which made me shoot up the town. I told you to shoot the tires. I couldn't shoot the tires on account of all the people that I shot. Okay, well.
And your shitty driving.
Yeah, and your shitty driving.
And then cut to immediately 2 dead bodies that are partially covered by a sheet. So I'm thinking that these people are casualties of the van chase.
Right.
And
but they don't have hands.
But it turns out they're not. I'm like,
this was a bad cut for sure. But these 2 people, they don't have hands. They're just laying in a field, and they're like, well, here, these guys didn't make it. Jackie, I mean, is this where we find out who these RV people are? These the RV girls?
No.
Oh my! Who the fuck are these?
These are the RV girls, but we do not. They are the RV girls the squirrels that ran into the RV, but they're not going to reveal that just quite yet.
All right.
But we do get we do get introduced now to, hey, Travis,
Nick.
This is your new lady partner, and I hope you're not a misogynistic piece of shit because she's going to be calling the shots.
Oh.
And he's like,
who?
Fuck you, other Travis.
Bimbo Tits over there. She's my new boss. Yeah. Dick Tracy in heels. That's what they say. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not Inspector Gadget. Sorry.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to inspect her gadget if I get some time in the coat closet with her during the Christmas party, because that's how much I respect women. Did I mention that I'm a tough guy?
Yeah.
Get me a drink.
Yeah. Right.
So then they cut to the mortuary, right? Or the coroner's office. And these are the weirdest looking boob mountains I have ever seen.
Boob mountains.
Like, the boobs on these cadavers are like a giant zit that popped and it's still open at the top. And it's weird.
I think he cut off their tits, Jackie. I think that's what the movie is saying. That these people have been mutilated by the gang of rapists.
Or their nipples got chewed to death.
Okay. Either way, they didn't have a good time on...
Or ants.
Or ants.
I like Sam's version. We're going to go with ants.
Why
the ants go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah.
No, the coroner's office just has a problem with ants.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened to these people? They died, then they came here, and there's ants all over them.
It's because you have sandwiches fucking everywhere in here.
Everywhere.
God damn it. Why do you eat all the time? Corpses. I don't know. Okay, so, so it's the RV girls. They were raped to death by a gang of rapists. That's what we're dealing with.
They don't know that yet. The new lead detective, McCord.
Hardcastle and McCormick.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I just remember McCormick because, that's a pretty popular spice brand. And I have been drinking. Okay, so, anyway, McCord, she's like, hey, let's go look at missing persons. And he's like, you're just going to turn me in to other guy. And...
Other guy.
The
Roy
gray-haired
Scheider.
guy.
Roy Scheider.
Roy Schneider. Scheider. And words are cheap and actions are worth more than words. And she's like, shut the fuck up and get in the car.
Jackie,
like, what the fuck are you babbling about?
Did you write this movie like today?
Deeds, not words.
You're right on it with this, and as you said, you are confused on who the characters are, the names of people, and you've been drinking, and you're still doing just as good as whoever wrote this.
Thank you.
All I took away from this scene is he was like, "Oh, is it Waco and Ruby Ridge?" And she doesn't go, "And you're not fired?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because nobody was at both.
I was a negotiator.
Everybody was fired.
I was on the phone with Randy Weaver when his dog got shot. And then I was down in Waco, and I was on the phone with David Koresh when his dog got shot. And then later, I was at another place with a compound where the FBI was surrounded, and I was on the phone with the leader when his dog got shot. Because that's what happens. The FBI's got freaking guys on top of vans, snipers, they're all pointed at this compound, and he's on the phone, he's like, you know what? You got a lot of children in there. You need to think about the children's future. I understand you've got beef with the government, man, and don't get me wrong, I got problems with the IRS myself. You should see my tax interest charges. I'm still working through like 6 audits, and I'm not real sure if I'm going to vote Democrat or Republican in the next election, or if I'm going to go with that weirdo Ralph Nader, because we may need a change in this government and in this country. But so I understand. Oh my God, there's fucking bodies everywhere.
The reenactment of both of these is there's militiamen standing around, cultists, whatever you want to call them.
Yep, yeah.
And there's just like this really nice lab, and they're like, oh, petting it. And then it's like Lassie runs out, and this lady goes, Labby, no. Like, you named your dog Labby? That's fucking original. Shoot that lady. Don't shoot the dog.
On top of the fucking van is like, my God. It's going to turn into a bloodbath. Shot of like Scheider shoot that fucking pooch.
Barely paying attention, like he's about to fall asleep, and then there's like some slight rustling, and he's like, fire! And the sniper's like, I'm taking this dog out.
And everybody starts shooting. The people in the compound are just getting blown away, and fucking Nick Travis is like running down the road being like, no.
Yeah, but he was in the middle of the field, so he probably would have been one of the first people shot.
Yeah, right.
There's a lady in one of the shots that's like far away from the camera, but staring straight at the camera, yelling, "You killed my baby!" at the camera. Like she's making sure that the camera can hear her. Like, am I doing my line right? It's hilarious.
Anyway, so that's why I don't trust you, new boss ladies, because of Waco and Ruby Ridge.
Well, she's like,
this other
yeah,
thing.
fuck off and get in the car. We're going to go look at these profiles.
Yeah, all right.
So then they go back to the police station or wherever the hell they're at. I think they're at the sheriff's office.
His name is Glenn, and he's awesome.
Yeah, Glenn's my favorite.
Glenn is my favorite too. So they're looking through the missing persons, and they're like, okay, so this family was in the RV, and there was a gas explosion, and the bits of everyone were so badly strewn about the place that we couldn't identify anyone. But then here's the two daughters, and the one has a Guns N' Roses tattoo on her back, which is where that skin was cut off from those two girls' dead bodies, and they do match the descriptions. So that's how they figure out that this is the RV ladies.
Okay.
The daughter has a Guns N' Roses tattoo?
Yeah.
So she's gotta be mid-20s then.
Or just maybe it's a prison type Guns N' Roses tattoo.
Well, then she'd be mid-20s.
Where, she had it done in her friend's garage.
Okay.
So she's like in 1997, she's like sitting in class and somebody's like, Nirvana and Weezer are awesome. And she's like, fuck you. And she runs to her friend's garage and just like yells Guns N' Roses forever.
GNR for life.
Guns N' Roses forever. 9 years removed. Give me a tat now.
Yeah, well, she's friends with
Even
Margot
Use Your
Robbie.
Illusion was 91. Put that one on my butt.
She's friends with Margot Robbie. And Margot Robbie is known to give tattoos on people when she's on set. She likes to dabble. So, like, she'll give people little tattoos on their feet.
Okay, that's a stretch, Jackie.
Like on the bottom of their toes. No, it is on the Graham Norton show. You look it up.
Okay, well, Margot Robbie was a fucking 8-year-old at the point of this movie, Jackie. So we're not going to blame Margot Robbie. You got to learn how math works. Person who wrote this movie. Either way, it's not that important. And they go up to where the RV was, and they're like, yep, there's a blown up RV. Let's go up the road a little bit. And they find this little stream next to like a mining building or a lumber mill that's closed down. And he's like, think I'll see if this water's drinkable. Maybe this is a place where Coors Light comes from because this water is crystal clear. Wait a minute. This looks like a femur bone. Wait a minute. This looks like another femur bone. And instead of calling in a forensic team to check for more fucking people bones to like try to build a skeleton and identify who this person is, he's like, well, that's where these go. He just chucks them in the fucking car.
He just throws them in the back and he's like, let's fuck this crime scene up more.
Big time.
No, what's best is that it's the front seat and it's her seat that those bones are on.
Hey, bony butt.
He's like,
now
you're going to have a wet ass. Ha 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 ha.
Wet bone in your butt. Your bony butt. Okay, so they go up to the abandoned mine building and they open it up and there's bones everywhere. It looks like one of those sewer rat dens in New York City. There's just corpses of...
But it's human corpses.
Human corpses. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Meanwhile, some these militia guys are watching them. They're like, ew. It looks like the feds are snooping around. So they call Busey, and he's like, yeah, you're going to have to kill those guys. I don't want them anywhere around here. I'm doing weird stuff, and my lady friend here, she's putting makeup all over me, so you're going to have to get rid of them. You got it, boss. So Buford, we're going to call this guy Buford. His name
is Bobby Joe.
Okay, Bobby Joe. We'll call him that because it's accurate. Fine. He chases him
you're
down.
doing just about as good with names as I am.
Buford, this guy is totally a Buford. Whatever. He chases him down in a logging truck, and he, does the typical thing where he slams into the back end, and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And they're going down the road, and get out of here! Whoa, what do we do? But then they finally end up wedged between the back tires of the truck the back tires of the truck and the front tires of the trailer. and they're getting like towed / pushed off to the side of the road. I know that there's nobody in this car, but this is a pretty good stunt sequence too. I like this whole, it goes on for a little bit too long, but it's a pretty good stunt sequence. It's, how did that car not go off the side of the road? But you think about it, they got a little bit more room than the truck driver. The truck driver doesn't want to wreck either. So it's just a good way of push, they're screwed. They're fucked.
Yeah, no, this is, I didn't know. I mean, all of the chases are long, but it's like they better be, because if they're not, then we have to deal with them talking to each other again.
Please, God, more chases.
Yeah, the part where the truck runs over the car, I was like, well, they just ran over the car. That's about how they did that. There's not really any other way to do it.
I think that's how they did it.
They probably welded in like some reinforcements to keep the car in half.
Right.
But they just ran over a car with a semi and dumped a bunch of logs everywhere.
Yeah. No, she jumps into his lap and he lets the car get out by smashing it in half. It's a cool stunt. It's a cool sequence. I liked it. I'm sure just because somebody wasn't in the car doesn't mean that everybody was safe. Truck drivers got things to worry about. Lots of things could still go wrong.
Yes.
It's a good stunt. All right. So he failed. Back with the militia, and they see the Agent McCord talking about them on the news, and Gary Busey's like, oh, shit, I'm famous. I'm on the goddamn news, and I like raping women, so we got to get her. So she's got a target on her back now. Probably a tattoo from Margot Robbie as well. And so she's on TV and she's talking about his boner. Like, whoever this guy is, he's probably got a very small penis that doesn't work. And so he's had to try to prove his manhood by being a violent son of a bitch and trying to take power over people that are smaller and weaker than him. And that still doesn't get him hard. So then he had to start raping animals. And that sort of got him hard. But then it was when he started getting into necrophilia. And that made him mega hard. But it wasn't still enough. And so he still feels rage inside of himself. And that's why he's raping these women.
And then blowing them up. Or
and then
cutting
blowing
them into 10 pieces.
Yeah, that's the part that gets him real hard. It's the only thing. This fucking pathetic piece of shit. His dick is probably all shredded up for some reason. I don't know, but this guy's got some weird dick problem. His dick is all fucking weird. Shit. Said the TV lady on live TV, and he's like, God damn it, she's talking about my fucking manhood. God damn it. How does she know? He's all pissed off.
Then Bobby
and then
Joe's like, but the plan, boss.
I don't care. My penis.
They're like, is that true? Is your penis weird, sir?
Must get FBI lady. I think she talks a little bit too much about his sexual motivations on network television, but that's just
yeah.
So they use themselves as baits. They go to this lover's lane area, and she's like, "Hey, how about you put your arm around me?" And Lorenzo Lamas is like, "Do I have to? God, you're such a bad actor." And it doesn't
Says
work.
Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah, right. They're not baiting. Nothing's working. And so they bail. They drive down the road. They get a flat tire. He goes to check it out. Smoke grenades come in. She immediately gets nabbed. Like, hey, did you fix the toe? Oh, no.
Well, what I want to know is what was he fucking doing that he didn't see a giant 2x4 in the fucking road?
I've never fixed a flat tire. I guess I'm not that tough of a guy. How do I even do this?
This is a weird nap because, like Jackie says, there's a 2x4 with nails in the middle of the road. They get out of the car. Busey nabs her, but then his girlfriend and everybody else just starts lighting it up with automatic weapons.
Yes.
And nobody gets shot.
Fleet of foot Gary Busey has nabbed an FBI agent from her car while bullets are flying at both of them. Okay. And she doesn't put up a fight at all. She's just like,
no.
Oh, no.
She doesn't even go ask. She's just like, where's the car?
Well, she does punch Busey in the face.
Later.
And then he punches her.
Yeah.
And then he does his business.
Yeah, so he gets her in a van. They're driving down the road. His girlfriend's there. And this is their thing, I guess, is that all these rapes, this gang of serial rapists that they think is just Gary Busey. He's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson, blah, 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 blah. And she's got pants on, and I'm thinking, wait, what the fuck is he doesn't take her pants off, but he kind of gives her the hump motion. And then Lorenzo Lamas has chased them down a mountain. He's on foot. He's ran down a mountain.
He's trying to beat him by sprinting down the side of the hill while they have to take the switchbacks.
S-curves get you every time. But
it worked better in Commando.
Yeah, well.
Where it barely works and he's in a car.
Okay. So he shoots Busey a little bit, and that's enough for McCord to like bail out the back of the van, and she rolls into his arms and he's like, damn it, they got away, and I thought we were tough cops. And Busey's like, I'll find you and finish my business. So they go back to headquarters or the motel or whatever, and she explains that he didn't. I mean, it's rape. He's inserted a couple. She's like, he got a couple fingers inside of me, and they were bloody. And
why were they bloody?
Why were they bloody? Why were they bloody?
And then she's like, BTW, it's the 90s AIDS.
AIDS, we forgot. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's an important thing at this point. Oh, yeah. So, but she's able to ID him because she saw his face. So she's the one that cracks it all. Finds out who it is. And he is a gloried, storied, decorated, honored Vietnam soldier. Because, of course, we're still in 1997 dealing with the horrors of Vietnam and the veterans that came back from it. And a lot of it's bullshit, but whatever. That's what the world's obsessed with in 1997. Oh, you need a bad guy? Well, make him something to do with Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, they get addressed for a trailer park that his mom lives at. And they go in. They're like, ma'am, we'd like you to tell us where you're... Oh, she's got a gun. So mom starts shooting lead, and they blow her away immediately.
They're like hiding in the car.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
They were just hoping that the police wouldn't bust the mom. Like maybe they would pull her over and she would get out and she could talk to them. But then the mom escalates it because she's an idiot.
That's exactly what happens,
Were they going to his mom's house for lunch?
Yeah, well, yes, for bologna sandwiches. You can't keep bologna up in the mountains, Sam, without an ice cooler. And none of these juicy an ice cooler? No. So they have to go somewhere for bologna sandwiches.
Yep. I'm with Jackie. They're just there for lunch, bud.
All right.
Occam's razor. But the problem is that is the plan, Jackie. All right, we'll hide out in the back. There's cops everywhere. We'll hide out in the back, Mom, and you just drive us out of here. And if they stop you, just say I'm going to get groceries. It's none of your business what I'm up to. Have I seen my son lately? No. But then he forgot that his mom is also a Gary Busey.
Yes.
Damn it. I should have realized she'd pull lead at the first sign of trouble.
And she just got finished listening to that song. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Take me now before the truth.
You know that Billy the Kid.
She's got a Bon Jovi tattoo.
Yep.
Margot Robbie.
That's what they find in her autopsy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it makes sense now.
No, she's got Emilio all over, up and down her arms, on her neck. Just total Estevez'd out. Nothing to do with Bon Jovi.
She's got like a Brat Pack Rushmore, like one on each tit and one on each cheek.
Yep. LDP.
Yep.
LDP's the one on her thigh. right next to the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Pour one out for our homie. Who else was in that movie?
She doesn't have enough.
Kiefer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kiefer doesn't get the crotch. Kiefer's on the back, shoulder.
Sure.
Yeah. Anybody else on Young Guns that we care
The
about?
blonde actor.
The blonde actor.
I can't remember what his name was.
I can't
Anyway,
remember. Who was the fourth in Young Guns? Damn it. Wasn't Christian Slater, right?
Yeah, Christian Slater.
It's Slater? Okay.
I think so.
I think Christian Slater gets the other thigh next to LDP.
Yeah.
For mom. Okay, so why are we talking about Gary Busey's mom's crotch tattoos? So bullets are flying everywhere. They're in a trailer park. The trailer park gets shot up again. This is all very familiar with these guys. And Gary Busey and Billy Joe Gentry, whatever his name is taking the wheel of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, actually. This is a sweet little uni right here. And he's all fucking hooning around the trailer park. Gary Busey's unloading fucking Uzis at the feds, and they're shooting all up at the damn thing. Nobody can hit a goddamn thing.
Nobody can hit a goddamn thing. Also, it's a Cherokee chief.
well, not true.
Oh, it is a Cherokee chief. Yeah, you son of a bitch.
They shoot the mom, and then the mom actually shoots McCorgan.
Yep, Billy Corgan.
Yeah. Shoots her, and she falls down, but she's got a bulletproof vest on, so she's okay.
Yeah.
And then she tries to shoot a mom and her kid in the face, and they end up in a trailer.
Yeah, she shoots a family of four.
The family of four is like, we're going to go back to our camp spot. Doop, doop, doop. Never mind the shootout in front of us. Don't use the brakes. Just keep driving. Sandwiches.
They crash through a trailer. And then, as we know, anytime a car crashes on screen, it blows up. So it crashed into a trailer. That's 2 blow-ups. You got the propane and the gasoline. That family of 4 exploded. They're dead. By rules of the movie.
Like, they're not, because she's like, I killed those people. And he's like, no, you didn't. They're barely scratched up. Quit
Seems like they're
fucking
okay.
crying about it.
I've
So
seen
they're
it in
dead,
the
and
movies.
it's my fault. I'm going to lose my job. And he's like, shut up. Just shut up.
Well, then Roy Scheider choppers in, or wherever the fuck he comes from, and he's like, all right, looks like you guys blew shit all over this fucking place. That lady that you shot in the face, and then she crashed into a trailer, and the trailer exploded, and then her fucking Buick exploded. Well, she now wants to sue you and the excuse me, and the FBI. Then Bill Clinton and Janet Reno, we're all going down because of you and your trigger-happy ways, Missy. You're going back with me to Washington, where we're gonna put you in one-way flight to Gitmo, and you're gonna hang out down there for the rest of your life, and you better say goodbye to your family, because never seeing them again, bitch. And Lorenzo Lamas is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
There's a point where this is where Scheider's like character's like, I'm actually going to do my job here for a minute. That was a major fuck up. You're fired. You are not fired yet, so I'm going to leave. And then he's like, fight me.
Fight me. Because I'm tough. He cusses him out. Like, son of a bitch, she's the best cop that's ever lived. And I'm the second best cop that's ever lived. But I'm such a good cop that I'm going to take one bullet right here. And, oh yeah, well, if you strike an officer of the law, you're going to get 10 years. Why don't you make it 20? He's like the kid in class that's talking back to his teachers. All right, Billy, you shit in your desk and then threw it at your classmates. You need to write 100 sentences on the blackboard. I will not shit in my desk and throw it at my classmates ever again. Oh yeah, teacher? Why don't you make it 200? Done. Fine.
Yeah.
About detention for a month. He's the kid. He's fucking Emilio in Breakfast Club. That's who he is.
Like, I'll take 500 demerits, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God. Okay. So they get a fist fight.
And then Scheider does like some Scheider foo business.
Scheider foo. I've never seen it.
Well, that we did in this because he has like his own peculiar fighting style that sort of works for a minute. I think the best part about this fight is that Lorenzo Lamas at the beginning, he's blowing a bunch of smoke and saying a bunch of shit that's ultimately just fight me. And Scheider just punches him right in the face and he goes straight down.
Scheider foo. But then it ends with Travis winning the fight, quote unquote. And he hog ties him. Like, yeah, well, you're not going anywhere. Dude, I'm going to find you and I'm going to fucking kill you for this. This was like, you know, some workplace trauma that, you know, if we had HRs in 1997, probably could have sorted out for us. But now you've hogtied me. I'm going to fucking kill you, you son of a bitch. Yeah, whatever, boss.
And we're stealing your rented Dodge Stratus.
Yeah.
And then the Sheriff Glenn shows up and he's like, hey, what's going on? This doesn't look too good. And he's like, don't you still your hands in this, Glenn. Things are headed south. He's like, oh, fuck that. I'm with you boys. Meet me back at the office.
Uh-huh. Which they do. And they find some clues via the computer. And they go to the VA. And that's where we get David Carradine. And David Carradine is an old Vietnam vet who had, I'm guessing, PTSD, went to the VA, and there was a group of other Vietnam veterans there that were administered by this particular doctor, and I guess he pumped them full of drugs that made him want to take over the world. Is that what he did?
I guess. What drug that is, I'm not sure.
I think he did experiments on him. I don't know what he did. But he took
a bunch of sexual predators and put them all in the same room and united them as a front.
Oh, so he just introduced guys. Like, hey, you guys...
And called it therapy. And then the plug got pulled and he was like, well, you guys should start a fraternity of rapists.
You'll put him in a ring, and he's like, all right, here's your support group. I'm going to give you your first topic. It's sexual mutilation and the overthrow of the government.
Hooray!
Yeah, because we learned from David Carradine that Busey's character, and I want you guys to remember that I told this joke on this podcast.
You sure goddamn did.
Razor blades in the pussy.
You sure goddamn
did. Now it's in a movie.
Yep.
It's you guys made fun of me, but it was in a movie, and I didn't know about this. But
from a time when you were 18 years old, which seems like a prime time that you would tell that joke, that you would have a joke relating to razor blades in the pussy.
Yep, and he got shredded, and which is also a time appropriate because in the 90s had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they had a shredder. So,
and the salad shooter.
Yep.
Yeah, and the salad shooter. So this guy gets shredded, and my only thought was, well, could they stitch him back together like Frankenstein his wiener back together?
No, it's
and does it work now, or mangled. Did they do a wiener transplant?
Yeah, they just did the best they could. It's mostly just ribbons. It's just it's like imagine if a man had a bunch of octopus legs between his legs. You know, that's kind of what it seems like. One of it.
So the lady he's with just really likes to have streamers in her face.
You know, it's like that hentai stuff that the Japanese are into. It's tentacle porn. You know, it's the closest she can get, but it's a man's penis because it was shredded by a Saigon whore who I guess just had a bad day one time and.
Yeah.
Decided to take it out on some GI that was, may have burned down her village and, you know, shot all the children in it because he thought that they were all wired to blow. But, you know, that's just what happened in Vietnam. Crazy time.
So, I don't think that she was a whore. I think that they were going around raping women. And when she saw them coming, she's like, I'm doing the razor blades in the cup trick.
Okay. Fine. Probably true.
This is the first on-screen appearance of David Carradine in a period of 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And this is what he did for that, was show up drunk and do a scene where they pushed him down a hall in a chair while he held the lines in front of him.
And then gets shot. He's on screen for about 2 minutes.
Not even 2 minutes.
Nah, probably not even 2 minutes.
Cumulative screen time's probably 15 or 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Kill Bill really did a lot for him.
Well, he recounts the story of a shredded penis man. And then he dies right there. Some guy's like, never tell the story about shredded penis Busey. Blam, blam, blam. He's our Lord and Savior. But he does give up a location before he dies. He's like, Tiger Canyon. Dies.
Cougar Mountain.
Tiger Canyon. I get them mixed up. Oh no, which one did I say? Dies. Boy, I hope we got the right one. Should we try sending guys to Tiger Mountain or Cougar Canyon? We don't have enough men. Pick one. And they flip a coin. That's how they get there. Okay. So they go in to Cougar Mountain, Jackie? Or is it Cougar Canyon? Or is it
Cougar Canyon?
Or was it Tiger Mountain? I'm already confused.
1313 Cougar Canyon.
Okay. So they go in, the building's empty except for this video that says play me, and they watch it, and it's Gary Busey being like, hey, we're going to go, and the government sucks, and we got to blow it up, and you suck, and now we're going to blow you up. And his voice was triggered to a bomb. It's a tonal trigger. Boom! Everybody out! Boom! Building blows up, and they're like, okay, wait a minute. I heard sirens on that video. That means we were pulling up as they were recording. That means they're close. Let's go. And so they get in the car and they go. I don't know what happened to the other cops in this
There
scene.
was another explosion here that was super dangerous where the guy was supposed to be like probably jumping out of the explosion, but it exploded all over his ass and he got knocked over by it.
Oh no. They spot him on the road. And they're also in a truck that they didn't bring. Whose truck is this?
They just took that truck.
The truck wasn't there. It was
They
empty.
stole a truck.
They had to run down the mountain and steal a truck, then go back up the mountain and be like, hey, there he is. It doesn't make sense. They're just suddenly in a truck that wasn't in this movie before. And the boobs lady from the beginning, Gary Busey's girlfriend, wife, whatever. She's got a grenade launcher. She's chucking grenades at him while Wendy McCord is like, well, I can be a tough cop too. I'm getting in the back of the truck with a shotgun. They're unloading. Neither can hit shit until finally they're right on top of each other. She finally hits him with a grenade, and Travis is like, oh shit, we just got shot in the grill with a grenade. We got to get out of here. Come on, let's go. Get out of the cab right now. Oh shit, hold on. Let me turn off the keys of the truck and I'll put it in park. Okay.
Let me turn the radio off.
Yeah.
It's good for the speakers.
Oh, my wallet's in the glove box. Can you get that for me? Okay. All right. Do you think we're ready? You good? Okay, let's go. They run up the mountain and then the truck explodes.
Yeah, it had timed explosion on the grenade, I guess.
So then they get away. Scheider pulls up and he's like, oh, now you're both under arrest for, wait, both? Oh, yeah, because we're arresting you because of the family of four that you exploded. And you fucking hogtied me. You son of a bitch. Yeah. Nobody hogties me. And it's all up to the local sheriff now.
So this is, I think, the dumbest part of the movie where he's like, you're all up shit creek. And then Lorenzo Lamas basically goes, we're going to have to catch them together first. And Roy Scheider's like, okay. And then everybody goes, after dinner sound good?
Right?
Because then they all go to fucking dinner rather than continuing the chase.
That's in handcuffs. That's what it appears to me. Well, we lost them. We couldn't find them. They went in the woods. It's all over. Yeah,
they didn't even chase them. They went right to dinner.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We tried. We tried real hard. We looked over there while I was eating chicken fried steak. I didn't see them.
It says here you made the reservations 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, you know.
I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah. Either way, I can't find those.
Prime rib on Thursdays.
Yeah. Lost them. Never to be found again. All right. So Travis, he strikes a deal to let her go. He's like, you can throw me under the bus, but not her. She's the best cop that the FBI's ever had. Like, Scully's got nothing on her. Like, she's a real tough cop. And she's like, oh, please, be so nice to me. I'm sorry for blowing up a family of 4. Let me go so I can hunt down mans who do bad stuff to ladies. And
when she's doing her thing right here, it actually looks like Roy Scheider wants to just walk off the movie. Just like, oh, really? And then she makes a line later, like after she like pulls the gun on him and is like, ooh, old switcheroo on what I was doing. And he's like, oh, I guess you got me. And she clocks him. And then she says something about the Oscar award. And you're like, yeah, that's not what that was.
Yeah.
That's not what that was.
You take that word out of your mouth right now. Damn it. All right. So they're free again. They do some computer detecting and they find, Busey's next target, which is like a retreat for Vietnam guys that had stuff to do with Vietnam, all the way up to the Speaker of the House, the current Speaker of the House. Excuse me, I'm very burpy. The current Speaker of the House is going to be there, second in line to the presidency. And the former defense secretaries, the ambassador to Vietnam, all these guys. It's like whatever that thing is where all the Republicans get together in California and probably jerk each other off.
This is like a Vietnam War healing event or something.
Yeah, but it's also like a society. Like they get together annually at this fucking retreat place and have pancakes
and play volleyball.
Yeah,
and
right.
Break a hip.
This is the. We know we fucked up. We know we did a bad thing, but come on, guys. Let's
hang out. Let's hang out in the woods together. And
talk about making a better world with authoritarianism.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about Vietnam. Let's go ahead and move into Cambodia. They're right there. It's nearby. Just go ahead and do that too. Okay. So that's where they're going to blow this up. All these Vietnam guys are going to be there. And it's happening now. Oh, shit, we got to get up there tomorrow. Because it's the next day by the time they get up there. Anyways, they're like getting locked and loaded. And she goes to take a giant Duke in the bathroom. And he follows her in. He's like, waits for her to fucking flush. And he's like, ooh, god damn. Ugh, that's bad. Oh, hey. Yeah, I was just standing in the ladies' bathroom. What's that over there? And then he handcuffs her to the bathroom stall and says, yeah, you're not coming with me. And she's like, God damn it. You're just doing this because you love me. And he's like, no, I do not.
No, I don't. I'm doing this because I don't like you. And I want you to stay here.
You're going to jeopardize this whole thing because on account of the fingers in your vag. And I don't blame you. I would be... I've never had a vagina, so I shouldn't infer what it would be like to have somebody that I don't want stick their fingers inside of me. But I sympathize with you because that is wrong and yuck, bad yuck. But you can't be on this case anymore.
And you can't run fast, so you're out.
You're really kind of fucking clumsy and doofy looking in a helmet, so I think it's best if you sit this one. She's like, no, it's because you love me. Okay, well, we'll be going now. Bye-bye. And he leaves. Immediately, she calls over the gas station attendant. And she's like, I'm with the FBI. You have to let me go. And he's like, well, okay, then. I was just working on that old Camaro. You know me. Old Camaro guy. Cranky. But I can see that you got more authority than I do. And I should let you go. And here's the keys to my fucking Nova. Bam.
Yeah.
That he tells her has no brakes, the gas light doesn't work, the overheat light is constantly on, so just ignore that.
Yeah.
As she's driving away and she can't hear him over the noise of the engine, she's like, fuck off, woo!
Also, it's possessed by the devil. Good luck. I was going to fix that later. All right, so meanwhile, Team Busey, they've gotten to the ceremony where fucking Robert McNamara is giving a speech saying, sorry, Vietnam. My bad. Shouldn't have done that.
Let's have Sammy's.
Let's have sandwiches now. And they're like, sandwiches! Oh, no, bullets!
Time to do s'mores.
Yeah, fucking bullets come in because Gary Busey's unloading all over the place. And, like, everybody runs, and they're, like, shooting up the fucking empty seats. Yeah, we did it! Woo! Busey.
Yeah, I've never quite understood how the guys in the front row managed to survive this and are safe.
Yeah.
And those are the most important guys.
They just
those
ran
are the
away.
guys they came to kill, and they were like, out of the way, losers. And they bum rush out, and all the unimportant people get shot.
The unimportant people called security for this event. That's it.
Who did a bad job, mind you.
Right. Like, you did not do anything. I mean, there's like mortars exploding all over the place, but you see all these white guys run up the stairs to freedom. They're gone. Well done. Boy, you got us. Bye now. You killed the fucking local security company that we hired.
Yeah.
Sort of. They killed a bunch of your guys too. There's only 2 of you left. And fucking Travis and the sheriff, they pull up, and he's got a fucking whatever gun that's got a fucking, it's not a Tommy gun, but he's got a fucking barrel chamber. Tommy, what are those called? It's a barrel. You know, a saw. He's got a saw. He's got a gun that's got a lot of bullets in it, okay?
Okay. He's got a submachine gun of some sort.
Yeah. And he's unloading, and then she pulls up in that clunker junker that's possessed by the devil.
She doesn't pull up. Bobby Joe is standing. Bobby Joe is warlording.
Yeah.
He's got his face paint and his shoulder pads, and he's like, I love the Road Warriors of WWF. And he's like, and then he turns, and she jumps her car into his face.
Which was awesome.
You're like, oh, Bobby Joe. You don't even have enough time to mourn Bobby Joe because she does it. And then Gary Busey just goes, hello, yoink, and then off screen.
And then that guy from the internet pulls up and says, you can't park there. Then drives away. So he grabs her, puts her on a boat, and takes off. And Travis is like, oh, shit, good thing he left me the faster fucking boat, because there just happens to be a goddamn jet boat at this goddamn thing. Like a fucking actual race boat that our friend Bert, world champion jet boater, has. Gets in it, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. It catches up. The hench bitch, she's fucking got another grenade launcher. She's launching grenades at him. She's missing all over the place, and then finally hits him right as he launches himself into the back of the boat, a la Roadhouse that we talked about before. Dive tackles everybody. Landed on my keys. And then punches. They get individual fights, the ladies and the dude. Punches Busey onto the exploded boat. I guess it knocks him out for a little bit. And then McCord, she chokes the other lady to death. But then she comes back and then she bonks her with an oar in the head, and she floats off to dead town.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Sequel.
And the same thing with the Busey character, right? He gets exploded. He's on the fire.
No. He comes back, and he's on full fire, and he's got an anchor, and he's fucking swinging her. Fuck the FBI! Fuck the government! Down with the USA! Blah, 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 blah.
No, he actually says, I'm going to get you. I'm on fire now.
He does. Yeah. Oh, my God. And then Travis shoots the gas tank that's on the ground with a harpoon gun. I mean, all this shit's fucking so stupid when you say it out loud. And it literally blows Gary Busey to safety. The man was on fire, and it shot him out into the lake.
Yeah.
He's probably pretty gross now, but probably not dead.
This is the craziest stunt I've ever seen with an explosion and a flaming guy. because they catapult him and then blow him up. It's like a timed sequence where it has to look like he's blown out of the boat, and you would have been like, this is a dummy situation, but it's a guy waving his arms, and
who was
this was
on
a
fire.
stunt that some guy did, and it's crazy.
Yep. Okay, so they get to the shore, and Roy Scheider's there, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. Seems like you guys cleaned all this shit up, so I guess no, we're not. I got a gun, and I'm going to kill you both. And then they fucking wrestle for it. The gun changes hands twice in this sequence. Like, oh, yeah? Oh, no, I got it. Said Lorenzo Lamas. And then Roy Scheider's like, oh, damn it. I guess I'm going to go to... Now I got my gun back. Stupid.
They're like doing this. It's a really dumb, like, oh, extra bonus fight. Roy Scheider bonus fight. And they're like, I got the gun, you got the gun. And then Glenn shows up and just plugs him in the neck. He's like, you fucking turkeys. That's how you shoot somebody.
And that's the movie. They walk away.
No, it's not,
Well,
because we get to learn of the rest of their life through title sequences.
And we do find out that McCormick does not have AIDS, and that they get to kiss at the end.
Yeah.
And that they have life together through 4 title cards that you to read about.
They're American
and
heroes.
And they're expecting their first baby.
They go back to Quantico and they teach crime solving at the FBI headquarters. Okay. So my first question is this a true story? Because it makes it sound like it is. Yeah, they're still working. They saved Robert fucking McNamara's life at a fucking retreat, and now they're married and teach at Quantico. You can go see them on Tuesdays. Okay, not a true story? Damn it. Okay.
So my question is, how does their plan work? Like, you murder, rape people crazy style to get the feds onto your trail, but your ultimate plan is to kill a bunch of people that are reconciling their differences at a summer camp.
Okay. I mean, it ties into my question, too. Why do his men follow him? Because I'm not sympathizing with terrorists by any means, but at least they have a motivation. It's a wrong motivation, but they do have a motivation.
Yeah, but
this does not make sense. Imagine these guys getting together, and what's the oh god, what the hell is his name? The Karate Kid guy, Martin Cove. And he comes back from Vietnam. He's Cobra Kai, and he wants to start a cult. And he's a charismatic, powerful leader. Like you gotta grab things when you see him, and you gotta grab them, and you gotta rip the head off it and punch it 32 times. And anytime somebody tries to challenge him, he fucking, rips their head off and punches them 32 times because he's a fucking tough guy. He comes back from Vietnam. He's got some chips on his shoulder. These guys come back from Vietnam and they're like, boy, we sure like fucking women that don't want us to fuck them. Let's get together and take over the government. Because they screwed us.
That's not even it. They're not even taking over the government. Their end game is to just murder these guys.
Yeah, but they say that they're going to, destroy America, bring it down, and start over again. There's just another fucking whack job militia bullshit, Proud Boy crap.
But how does everything they do before their raid of the summer camp build towards the end goal of the raid of the summer camp?
The only way I can see it... Okay, Jackie, you try.
They're practicing because they're going to sodomize all these dudes.
No, they're not. You see what they do. They succeed in their mission. They shoot up the place and they all start giving each other high fives. There's no plan. There's no part B to this plan. They show up. He says something stupid like, oh, now we're going to see how you guys like it. They shoot up empty bleachers and then give high fives. The lady congratulates him, his boobs lady, on a successful mission. Right there at the podium where Robert McNamara was just talking. It's over. This is the only way I can see it. They're sitting around one day and they're complaining about the VA and like how benefits don't apply to them anymore and it takes too long and they need to make some changes. And of course, because they're gun-loving morons, they decide to burn the system all down. Well, Gary Busey's like, yeah, but on account of that Saigon whore, yes, I know she's not a whore, Jackie, but this is Gary Busey talking. On account of that Saigon whore that turned my Peter into fucking octopi leg, I need to like rape a bunch of women. And they're like, well, that's not what about the government thing? Wait a minute. God damn it. That's America's penis that lady shredded. We gotta fucking band together and we gotta rape all the ladies too, because on account of his shredded penis. Because America's penis. It's America's penis. That's the only way that I can make sense of how this whole fucking thing works. That they go on this rape binge because it doesn't call the attention of the FBI to fucking break up. It's so stupid. It's unrelated. These are two movies in one.
Huh. I guess they get away with it. They succeed in their plan because the build-up to the plan was such a bad one that the FBI couldn't figure it out.
Right. No shit. They have no clue that they're going to blow up fucking the Vietnam get-together retreat. The Vietnam Hug It Out pals.
Hug It Out summer camp.
Society. Okay. Jackie, you got a question?
Nope.
Okay. Does the family of four give a shit about the fact that they saved Robert McNamara's life? I mean, do they give a shit?
No.
Or are they still suing?
They don't even know who the hell that is.
Oh, well, you don't. He was the orchestrator outside of Henry Kissinger of the fucking Vietnam War, Jackie. He was...
They don't know who that is.
Department Secretary of Defense throughout the whole thing. Not great. Okay. Either way, even if they do, I don't think anybody gives a shit about fucking, hey, some guy saved Robert McNamara's life. That's cool. I guess we won't sue on account of getting shot in the face by the FBI anymore. Because that's what Roy Scheider says at the end of it. He's like, you guys made some pretty big friends tonight. I guess you're in the clear. How about you chuck down a little, hey, Roy Scheider did a pretty good job, right? Wrong. I'm going to shoot you both. But he says that first. You saved the fucking former Department of Defense secretary's life. So you're all good now. You guys are fucking great. Off the hook. Except for that time you shot a lady in the face. Okay. All right. So they don't make it. They don't go teach at Quantico. She gets sued out of existence.
I would think so.
Yeah. All right. Sam, any other things?
No,
I don't. Final recommendations. I'm going to start with Jackie.
I was extremely entertained, and Gary Busey is always a joy to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where are we at on the Busey scale on this one? 1 to 10.
It's got to be at least an 8 because he says I'm on fire now.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Jackie?
You already did me?
No, I'm saying is an 8 on the Busey scale good for you?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Does the Busey scale go below 8, though?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. Dirty Dancing 2?
Buddy Holly. The Buddy Holly story.
I was making a joke, but he's pretty good in Buddy Holly story.
But he's not at a Busey 8.
Yeah, he's not a Busey 8. I am not going to give it a do, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Because of 3 amazing stunt sequences do not cover up the hour and 45 minutes.
Busey yells, "I'm on fire now," while swinging an acre.
I include it in 3 good action sequences. Does not cover up the endless tough guy melodrama that bored me to fucking death. And I mean, it's just under a due for me. It's like a 49 out of 100, sadly. Shut up, both of you. Stop it. Go chop 20 minutes off this film and it's a due for me, but I got tired of them talking and being tough caps and the back and forth and Roy Scheider. I just didn't go for any of it. So it's don't from me. I think it was boring. Go ahead, Sam.
I liked how bad the melodrama was. It was like Falcon Crest pooped, and that poop wrote the dialogue, and I was laughing at it the whole time because it was so, and she was so bad that I was almost in tears a couple of times when she was trying to do her acting, and I did not get bored through that. Plus, Gary Busey yells, "I'm on fire now," while swinging an anchor, which has got to be worth the price of admission on its own. But no, I thought it was great. In fact, if I ever compile a list of the Lamas' action movies to do in like a afternoon three-peat, this one's now in consideration for that.
No, okay. Last question. Gary Busey on fire, holding an anchor versus the Balrog.
Isn't he the Balrog?
Either way, Gary Busey. Gary Busey on fire, holding an anchor. Most dangerous weapon ever.
Yeah.
I think Gandalf would have ran. Ah!
That guy's fucking nuts. A Balrog I can deal with.
Go, Frodo, go. Okay. Next week on the show, we are not doing a movie. It's our 10th year anniversary, and so we will be doing our year 10 year in review. So fans of the show, fan favorites of the show, favorite episode of the show for die-hard fans, where we recount our favorite movies from the last year of podcasting. So check that out, and then go watch those movies because those are the good ones. Have a great week, gang. Get to the chopper.